Hello, everybody. This is José Ignacio from the Uncomfortable Dialogues 2022.
For today's dialogue, I am honored to have a fascinating, compassionate, emphatic leader, Ali Cox, with us. Ali is the president of Blueprint, and she's a certified coach and mentor at NetMind US. Ali has a wide range of professional expertise ranging from executive leadership, business agility, project management, and even systems development. In the context of the massive business changes due to the pandemic, it is widely known that building more resilient organizations requires rewriting their own DNA. And to do that, Ali helps executive leaders to drive value in their organizations through continuous learning and improvement, highly collaboration models, and servant leadership. Without any further ado, welcome to our Uncomfortable Dialogue 2022. How are you doing, Ali?
I'm doing well. So, I think what happened over the last 2 years, probably like a lot of organizations, at first we had some business canceled, changed around, but all things considered, I think that we came out of it pretty well. I think also, like a lot of people and a lot of organizations, we underestimated what the pandemic would mean to our organization, to us personally.
How have you coped with the uncertainty?
So at the family level, we family and friends, I guess, we basically created a bubble at first. When everything was really shut down, we kind of huddled in. We didn't go out much. It was hard because my mother is in a retirement community that completely shut down, so she was not allowed in. Nobody was allowed in or out, so we couldn't see her for several months. But other than that, which was hard, it was okay. I think, once again, some of it was a blessing as we had a chance to slow down and be with each other more. And as far as the organization, we handled it very well. I think what has come out of this is that, the World Health Organization has stated that COVID-19 has caused more mass trauma than even World War II, and I think it's obvious that the toll on mental health is huge, and will last a while. So, I really wonder what this has done to our children, and especially our children who, some of them maybe are growing up in this new era of not being able to be close or being shut down, being stuck inside. And I think we have to be mindful of all that as leaders within organizations. I think we have to be mindful about how it has affected the mental health of our employees and of their families. Yeah. Internally in organizations, leadership in times of crisis, to me, means that we are helping our organization adapt well to this new world, to this new way of working. And to me, empathy in leaders is key. So, I'm talking about like the cognitive empathy. So trying to put ourselves into other people's shoes, even if we are not experiencing exactly what they're experiencing, but empathizing with them in that cognitive way, empathizing emotionally. So sharing feelings with people, like being vulnerable, admitting when we don't have all of the answers, asking for help. So that trust has to be there within the organization. And then the compassionate empathy, which, to me is the more active form, where you're not only concerned and you're empathizing with your employees or your teams, but you're also taking actions to help them out of whatever crisis that they're going through. We have to listen. We have to be empathetic, like I said, to those needs and wants, and to be mindful of that stress that the pandemic has had on people, and to help them get through it and to accommodate what they need in order to get through it well, and to be a productive part of the organization and of society.
If you look at what EY have done over the last few months, they have surveyed the US, and they understand that half of the business leaders do believe that they need to make a change.
Yeah.
Obviously, because now the world has changed, and you need to modify your organization. And the problem we have seen is that they go from a strategy to execution all the way. And oftentimes that transition from thinking that you want to do an e-commerce solution and implementing the solution oftentimes doesn't work. And it
Right.
creates a lot of frustration because people say, how come?
Exactly.
And I think the how come is that they don't know how to do change management, or
Right.
they don't know how to facilitate, to do coaching. As you said, to be far more empathetic. So can you give us some thinking about that area?
Yeah. So what I see is exactly what you've seen, that leaders will say, "Oh, we need to be more agile. We need
Yeah.
to adapt to these changes. We need to go digital." And they think that it's a magic, snap
It's
your
just like,
fingers and go. So one of the things that as briefly as I can, is that we have to understand what problem is your particular organization facing. What are the problems that you're going through? Why are they happening? What is the cause of those problems? Understand what is the strategy to overcome those. And once you understand that strategy, build out that strategy, is to implement it incrementally, so in an agile way, so that you are constantly testing what you're doing to say, okay, what's working, what's not, having that feedback loop on changes, so that you can understand, as you try to implement these changes, whatever they are. Concepts there are to constantly check in with people to see how are they doing with the change, how are they feeling about it, do they feel like they have the tools, the skill set to be able to deal with the change, whatever that may be. Have we given them that support? So I just think that constant monitoring by the leaders to check in to see how it's going and what needs to change within the change is really crucial. Take that, whatever change you're moving toward, or toward a digital company, for example, and figure out what is the strategy for that. How does our particular organization need to embrace the digital world? What do we need to do? How do we need to arm our workforce in order to do that well? How do we need to, what upskilling do we need to do in order to get them there? But as we're looking at that, and as we're implementing whatever that upskilling is, or whatever we're trying to implement, once again, that feedback loop is so crucial to make sure you stay on the right path. You start on the right path, but you've got to make sure you're staying on it.
Ali, I really like to have a discussion with you for many more hours, but as you can imagine, we need
would
to
too. This is great.
finalize this session. But I have a final question for you.
Okay.
So, assuming that the crisis is going to be solved over the next few months or years, but what is going to be Ali's legacy to her family, or to the world, or to the organization where you are working on?
Well, I think what this whole situation has helped me see about myself is that I did not quite have that empathy that I needed to have. And so I think it's taught me to be more empathetic, not only with the people that I work with, and to slow down a little bit, but also with my family, and to help them through, the things that they need help through within the crisis. So I'm hoping that that's my legacy, that I've become a more gentle, a little bit more relaxed Ali. We'll see.
Excellent. I'm really glad to hear that.
Thank you
so
much, José Ignacio. It's been a pleasure.
Ali, it's really a pleasure to see you after so many years of being disconnected.
Yeah.
So I wish you all the best for the future.
The same to
and
you.
For everybody else watching this webcast, if you have any questions to Ali or to myself, just write it down here in LinkedIn and YouTube, and we'll get back to you.